Ever wondered how to delve into Kenosha County court records from the comfort of your home without spending a dime? Stay tuned, and I'll guide you through each step. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to break down exactly how you can navigate the Kenosha County court system and uncover public records completely for free.
So first off, why are we even doing this? Well, court records are basically the official day-by-day accounts of actions taken by judges, attorneys, and the parties involved during a legal trial. Knowing how to access these files is a massive advantage. Whether you're conducting some serious legal research, piecing together your family's genealogy, or just trying to do a personal background verification on someone, these records are absolutely crucial.
Here's a quick look at our agenda for today. We'll start with number 1, the Kenosha court system. 2, accessing records online for free. 3, smart search and interpretation. 4, sealed records and troubleshooting. And we'll wrap up with number 5, our conclusion and legal disclaimer.
Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, the Kenosha court system, understanding the landscape. Now, the very first thing you really need to understand is that these records are fundamentally public, thanks to the Wisconsin Public Records Law, and guided by Chapter 72 of the Wisconsin Supreme Court rules, you actually have a legally backed right to view and copy these government documents. So what does this mean for us? It means the default presumption is open access. The law essentially empowers you, the public, to oversee judicial processes and gather information. Pretty great, right?
But here's where it gets a little tricky. There's a critical distinction you need to make between the two types of courts in the county, because Kenosha operates on a multi-tiered framework. On one hand, you have circuit courts. These handle big, county-wide cases. Think major civil suits, felonies, family law, and probate. These are centralized and, luckily for us, accessible online. On the other hand, you have municipal courts. These deal with local city or village ordinance matters. Say you get a traffic ticket in Pleasant Prairie. That's municipal. And here's the kicker. Municipal court records are not kept in the state's central database. You actually have to query those local village portals directly to find them.
Moving right along to Section 2, accessing records online free, navigating the digital portal.
So for those circuit actions we just talked about, the state actually maintains this completely free, centralized public database. It's called the Wisconsin Circuit Court Access Portal, or WCCA for short, and you can find it at wcca.wiscourts.gov. Just to clear up some terminology you might run into, the courts themselves use an internal management system called CCAP, but WCCA is the public-facing side of all that data. Basically, this website is your primary destination for finding cases filed all the way from 1994 up to the present day.
Running a search is literally a breeze. Just navigate over to the WCCA website, and here's the best part. You don't even need to create an account for a basic search. You just click I agree to accept their terms of use. Next, and this is a super important step, make sure you specify Kenosha County from the drop-down menu. If you skip this, you are going to end up with statewide clutter and potentially hundreds of results for people with the exact same name scattered all across Wisconsin. Once you've filtered it down to Kenosha, just input your subject's details.
All right, let's head into Section 3, Smart Search and Interpretation, making sense of the data.
Let's put this into practice. Let's say you're looking for a recent civil case involving someone named John Doe. Here's how you would find it. Start by entering just his first and last name. Now, if John has a really common name, you'll definitely want to add his date of birth to narrow things down. If you already happen to have the exact case number, even better. Just type that in for a direct, immediate match. And here's a pro tip for you. If you aren't totally sure of the exact spelling of a name, use a wildcard asterisk. So typing SMI asterisk is going to cast a much wider net, pulling up Smith, Smithson, and Smith all at once. Once you successfully pull up a record, you'll see a summary dashboard that displays a few key data points. It shows you the case status, the charge or case type, and the disposition. In a matter of seconds, you can see whether a case is civil, criminal, or traffic, exactly what specific statutes were cited, and the final judgment. It's essentially a complete chronological timeline of everything that went down in that courtroom.
And honestly, you can quickly gauge exactly where a case stands just by looking at that status field. Open simply means the case is currently active. There are ongoing hearings or new filings happening. Closed means it's totally resolved. Maybe a judgment was paid or maybe it was dismissed, but either way, no further action is expected. And pending means the court is currently waiting on something specific to happen, like an upcoming judge's ruling or a scheduled hearing.
That brings us to Section 4, Sealed Records and Troubleshooting, Navigating Roadblocks.
So what happens if you can't find what you're looking for? First,
Keep in mind there are strict legal boundaries here. The law intentionally restricts public access to highly sensitive documents to protect the individuals involved. This means you will absolutely never find juvenile records, cases that were sealed by a judge, or unexecuted search warrants online. Even in open public family court cases, certain sensitive data, like child custody details or personal financial statements, are kept strictly confidential.
Furthermore, you have to understand official retention schedules. There is a massive difference between how long a physical paper record is kept in a filing cabinet versus how long it is displayed on the internet. To balance public transparency with the potential collateral damage that a permanent digital record can have on someone's life, cases like full dismissals or acquittals are completely purged from the online WSCA display after exactly 2 years. However, the physical paper file still exists.
So the crucial takeaway here is that if you need full scanned documents that are blocked online, or if you want to look into a dismissed case that aged off the website after those 2 years, you have a physical alternative. You can completely bypass any electronic e-filing subscription fees by simply visiting Room 109 at the Kenosha Courthouse on 56th Street. They have public self-help terminals right there in the building where you can view the actual scanned filings, the legal briefs, and the court orders totally for free.
Finally, Section 5, Conclusion and Legal Disclaimer, wrapping up our guide.
Let's do a quick recap of your new search protocol. Always start by identifying whether the case you want is circuit or municipal. Next, utilize the WCCA portal at wcca.wiscourts.gov for those county-level circuit records. Take your time to properly read through the status and disposition fields so you're accurately interpreting the data you find. And finally, don't hesitate to visit the courthouse in person to use those public terminals if you need deeper access to the full unredacted documents. Before we go, please remember our legal disclaimer. This explainer is strictly for educational purposes. You should always independently verify current laws and privacy regulations. Retention policies and online access rules shift frequently, and it is absolutely vital to adhere to legal guidelines when you are accessing and using public records. Now that you are fully empowered with the specific tools, the website links, and the knowledge to navigate the Kenosha County court system freely and legally, those digital filing cabinets are wide open to you. What fascinating truths will you uncover in the public record today? Get out there. Happy searching, and thanks so much for joining me on This Explainer.